Welcome to Cultivating Courage, a podcast exploring fear, courage, and stepping into a life filled with purpose, connection, and love. Welcome to another episode of the Cultivating Courage podcast. We're glad you're here. I am one of your hosts, Kristen Robinson. I'm the owner and head coach of Thrive Coaching Studio, and I help people figure out who they are and go after that.
And I'm Matt Maxwell, the other host of the Cultivating Courage podcast. And I own and run Hearthstone Coaching and Consulting. We help organizations be awesome.
Yeah. Today, we are doing a little bit of a get to know Matt episode. So episode number 1.
I feel like if we're going to do that, I should probably say better what I do so that like if people are listening to this, they'd actually learn what I really do. I hadn't thought about that in the context of this episode being about me. We'll give myself a chance later.
Okay, cool.
Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. It happens a lot here. Okay, so we're getting to know Matt. First thing you learned about Matt, sometimes he interrupts.
Only when it feels so important.
Okay, so we're going to start with what I have affectionately named the game of 3.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I don't know what this means. It's a total mystery.
3 pet peeves.
Definitely loud eating.
That's one.
Like crunchy, it's a quiet room. I'm in the freaking library and you got a bag of chips. It like makes me want to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe extreme. That's 1. 2. I can't think of anything. That's just pretty much the main thing.
You have one pet peeve.
No,
one thing that makes you really angry.
No. Well, there's dumb, stupid human habits that make me mad. That's how I hear pet peeve. There are definitely things that otherwise that make me mad. Like, we could go into politics but like human behaviors that are just like, oh, that just, okay. Another is, okay, this is kind of judgy. We're just jumping right into it.
Well, I think pet peeves are
anything
personal and they're anything. Yeah, it's not judgy. It's just things that irritate you.
Okay. Let's see. Just like generally like really opinionated people that are like really just their opinion's the right way and the only way. And it could be almost any opinion. And that would probably kind of irritate me.
So only any opinion, even if it's the same opinion that you share with them, or it's really more if it's an opposite opinion?
I mean, I guess, my training as a coach and even as a lawyer, was like, oh, there are really a lot of ways to look at just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone who doesn't share that opinion with me, that there are many ways to look at something, might grate me the wrong way. I suppose if someone was like, I have a very strong opinion that humans are made of love and that anything is possible and that we should take care of the earth, and they're very opinionated about that, I probably wouldn't be that annoyed because I mostly share all of those opinions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's different extremes where people are opinionated and bugs me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 2 out of 3.
Okay. I used to be this way and I still kind of am this way, so I feel guilty saying it, but there's like a culture in definitely in Chicago where we are at and other cities where I spend a lot of time that's like relatively well off 30-somethings, particularly singles, because that's who I spend more time with, where it's like their culture is basically food or like brunch. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, like I love restaurants and I love trying new things, but it's like that's their world. They haven't expanded their like circle of things that they care about outside of like who they're going to have brunch with and where they're going to eat. Mm-hmm. It's super judgy, but when I hear people where like that's like all they talk about, I'm just kind of like, I don't care. This annoys me.
All right.
Even though, don't get me wrong, I love brunch and I love to eat.
So imagine a loud eater at brunch. I mean, that's like
Yeah, who's really opinionated.
with someone who's really opinionated. It's your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. You made it
Thanks.
through one of like 5 in our game of 3.
Oh, okay. I'll try to go faster.
It doesn't matter. We have no real agenda.
No.
3 things you can't go without.
Breathing,
Okay.
food, and water.
Lame.
Lame, super lame.
Super lame.
Outside of survival needs, cereal,
What kind of cereal?
it doesn't matter.
Really?
I just need variety. It's kind of like sex.
You need variety?
Yeah, like the same thing over and over would get boring. But no, truly, any kind of cereal. But if I had the same box of cereal, I'd probably get sick of it. But basically, for like almost 4 decades, I've been eating cereal every day.
Favorite 3 cereals?
Oh man, how could you? Oatmeal squares. They're really
I've never
good,
even
y'all.
heard of
They're so good.
oatmeal
They're like
squares.
crunchy and just so delicious. Right now, that's a current fave. This is not like all time because it changes over time.
Sure.
Oatmeal squares. Like I'll just throw in Kashi as like a general category of cereals that like I'm glad it exists because it feels healthier and there's like protein in it and stuff. And then on the like more sugary side right now, there's a few varieties of Chex that I'm really digging. I just had peanut butter Chex for the first time. So good. And cinnamon Chex is very good.
Oh,
So those are my favorites currently.
cool.
Subject to change.
Of course.
Yes.
All right. So back to 3 things you can't live without, cereal being one.
Oh, that's pretty much the only one. I'm like a physical touch kind of person. So whether it's in like a romantic relationship or just with friends or whatever, like hugs and high fives and even just like handshakes, just like some form of physical connection with others. I like to cuddle. That feels, I'd probably survive without it, but it feels pretty necessary for me. And 3, I suppose writing. I'm about to like publish my first book, but like way beyond that, I've just really discovered how much I love writing over the last couple of years as just like a therapeutic exercise, as just like a meditative exercise, a chance to just like explore and release and enjoy. And I'd say probably like my easiest happy place would be like chai latte in a quiet cafe and I'm typing something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
3
Trees. Hello.
And-
Trees. I didn't even get to trees. Chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate milk.
Oh, now all
yeah,
of these
I
things are
definitely
coming.
like trees. Yeah. I'm thinking of more things. That's 6. Okay, 6.
I think it's 5 plus your 3 bogus, lame answers.
If she's getting back at me because we did a getting to know Kristen and I kind of made fun of her the whole time. Oh, I deserve this.
Okay. 3 things you want in a relationship.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll just give listeners a background so that they know what we're talking about.
Sure.
Which is that, currently I'm single and would like to be in a relationship and have a family. And what are the three things I'm looking for?
No, 3 things you want.
Oh, 3 things I want. Oh,
Which I guess
man.
is kind of
I've
the
got a
same
list
thing,
of like
but,
23 things.
I think want is stronger than looking for.
Yeah, cool. All right, one is I have this idea that I want to have children, which sounds kind of scary and maybe awful. But I'm interested in experiencing that. And so one of the ways I think about my future partner is that she is so fun. We have so much fun together that the idea of raising children together sounds fun. And it doesn't usually occur to me as fun. So just like there's a funness of being together that would extend to like the adventure and craziness of raising children.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. I think having kind of at least aligned purposes. We don't have to be up to the exact same things, but having a relationship where we both really care about the impact we're making on the world, and creating a way of being as humans that is like full of love and compassion and kindness and adventure and freedom and where we're caring for the earth. That kind of common purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose chemistry. You know, someone who I'm just like very attracted to and I just want to be around them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, physically, emotionally, spiritually attracted.
Yeah. Cool.
By the way, if you're listening to this and you're like, that seems like it could be me. No
Slide
guarantees.
into his DMs,
no
man.
guarantees that I'll be single when you're listening to this, but it wouldn't hurt to at least, you know, reach out. I'm on the lookout. I know you're out there.
3 things you'd do if you weren't.
By the way, we're probably better off if you're listening and not watching. Don't check out the YouTube. Wait till we like meet in person to check me out. Don't you think?
They're gonna internet stalk you. Everyone does that now. There's
best
no
look.
way that anyone goes
Please
on a
look
date.
up my acting headshots.
There's no way that anyone goes on a date now and has not seen a picture of the person.
Okay, that may be true.
It might not be an accurate picture, but they've definitely
I
seen
went
what
on
that
a
person
blind
looks
date
like.
last night. Blind. I had not seen her,
Yeah.
but I trusted the person who set us up.
Yeah.
And she was cool. She was cool. No, she was like, I would imagine some people would be like, she's stunning. She just wasn't quite my type.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what my type is. And
That's not part of the game of 3.
okay, good.
You're off the hook for now.
And the other thing that occurs to me we haven't shared is that we are in a different location. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
we are in the basement of our producer James. He has like a studio.
Yeah. He has 2 studios, and we're in one of 2 studios.
Yeah, one of the studios. It's an adventure.
We're in the comfy, cozy, chill studio.
Yeah, you guys can't see it because it's behind the camera, but there is a broken, huge Pac-Man arcade thing in the corner. It looks awesome. There is also a Toshiba TV that looks like it's from 2001.
It has both a VHS and
a
DVD player built
Fully loaded,
into
baby.
it.
Definitely not HD. I'm actually curious what anyone does with
It
that.
is flat screen, but it's a flat screen that still has a box with
the
it.
the back of it is bigger than the front, like
Yes.
the width.
It's from my Nintendo.
Oh,
And my Sega
oh,
Genesis.
that like Nintendo. Oh, that's pretty rad, dude.
Yeah, baby.
He's also got like random Halo Boba Fett masks. This is, from my perspective, way cooler than Christian's place.
I thought you might like it.
Yes, and from my perspective, I don't understand any of it.
I thought you might not.
Pretty lights.
Yes, I like the lights.
Okay, what's the next question?
3 things you'd do if you weren't so afraid.
Oh man, let's see. You know, my like life is around stepping through the fear to do what I want to do. So what would it be if I weren't so afraid? Get married, which I'm working towards, hopefully. But that sounds terrifying, and I hopefully will do it, even though I'm terrified. Also, I think it's like, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? Is that what it is? And I feel like I'm doing it all. Publish my book, which is close. That seems terrifying, to write a book and like put it out there and share it with everyone. And I'm in the process of that. I think that the thing that I which we've talked about on prior episodes, but I feel like there's another level of expression for me of just like, maybe it's just like putting more content out there, writing more, publishing it, speaking more, videos, public speaking. There's just like another level of expression that feels scary, but that I want. And I feel like, something I want. And then I think, I don't think I'm going to do this, but there's an appeal to like throwing everything aside and like doing whatever I want, meaning me, like the lazy teenager wants, you know, like vacation for 6 months and like actually do nothing. That sounds kind of scary and fun. And I don't know if all of me wants that. If I really deeply wanted that, I'd probably do it, but I'll think about that. Maybe I will do that. I've still got some savings left from my lawyer days. I used to be a lawyer, everybody.
You may have, if you listen to the first Getting to Know Matt, I suspect you talk a little bit
Did
about
I talk
that.
about that?
I think probably a little bit. 3 things that make you smile.
Trees. I like them so much. Big, gorgeous trees. Even little ones. I just like them. Trees make me smile. Doing the podcast makes me smile. Most of the time.
Same.
That makes me smile, though. I'm glad we're doing it. And like there are moments where I really step out of kind of my judgments about how people should be and the way the world should be. And I'll just kind of like imagine what it's like to be someone else. Like I'll look at them and just like, I wonder what it's like to be inside their head, you know? And usually when I do that, it makes me smile.
Yeah, I think that's almost always better place to come from. Okay. Using 3 words. 3.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Describe yourself.
Fun, creator, Buddha.
Okay. This is a sort of serious question. By sort of, I mean it is a serious question. But it is also part of the game of 3.
Okay.
If you had 3 months to live, how would you spend your time?
Making podcast episodes. I just do this with you every day. You know what I mean? All day. We'd get like 400 episodes, and then people could listen to me for like 8 more years. Are you on board?
My favorite part about this is that last little phrase, then people can listen to me.
To us. I mean, you're going to... Well, no, of course it's to us, but the point is I'm dying.
Oh,
I didn't know if you're dying too, then it matters. But like for me, it's like they get...
Then it matters.
They get decades
Then your
of
voice
you.
matters, Kristen. If you're dying,
No, you should not take that
your
personally.
voice
I meant it like
matters.
after I die. I'm assuming we're not... if we're all dying, that's one scenario. If you and I are both dying, that's another. If it's just me, let's see. I would... let's see, 3 more months. I would probably continue most of what I'm doing. I would definitely be finishing my book and have it published and out in the world before I go, and do what I can so that it has a chance to be read. I would do that. I would probably... I don't know if I would finish. I've like off and on worked on a memoir for a long time about my spiritual journey. And I don't know if I would finish that or not. I would at least record stuff about it that people could listen to, or that like my family members could listen to.
Do you think audio or video?
Probably some of each. maybe some video. What else? I'd probably call up some people that have been important to me in my life that I'm not really in touch with, and get a chance to reconnect and spend some time with them. Like I would definitely want to see my ex-wife, and just get like one final chance to kind of talk through our lives and make sure like we're both really complete and okay with how it is and how it was. There's probably a handful of other people that I'd want to have those kinds of like reconnecting, and probably I would honestly, that's probably how I'd spend most of my time. I'd probably just like get on Facebook and think of like every close friend I've ever had and just be like, hey, could we have lunch? The people from middle school that I've lost touch with, or just I think that's probably what would bring me the most joy. It would be to just reach out to a lot of those people and spend time with them.
Cool, man. What was the last lie you told?
I'm trying to think if I've already told one on the episode or not. Did I really mean Kashi? I don't know. Maybe I was just saying that because I think I should like Kashi as a cereal. That might have been like half a lie. Let's see. What was the last like lie I told? Well, it wasn't quite a lie, but sometimes I'll be like, things get tricky when you're trying to date. Where it's like, I've gone out once with this person, so of course there's no like exclusivity agreement.
Right.
And like, I'm going to go out with somebody else, but I don't really want to like tell them like, oh, I'm going on a date with somebody else that night,
I can't.
So it's not really a lie, but I'll be like, I have a thing.
I have
a thing where I'm like kind of being intentionally vague about it. I don't hold that as like lying, but it feels a little bit like I'm not really being totally authentic.
If she called you out, like,
what are you really doing?
Like, do you have a date? You can like just.
Oh,
tell
I would
me.
totally be like, yeah. I wouldn't hide it.
Yeah.
But it's feels weird to talk about someone else that you're seeing when you're seeing someone in those early phases, like pre exclusivity phases. So that maybe, but I don't really count that as a lie. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm sure I've heard that we all like lie. Like we like, on average, we lie 19 times a day or something. I'll watch for it the rest of this episode, and if I catch myself in a lie, I'll tell you.
Okay. Let us know. James, when was the last time you lied?
I don't know. Pretty sure I said I liked a rapper I hated on a podcast like 4 hours ago just to make a point. So.
James always lying about the rappers he likes.
I'm the worst.
Can't trust him. Do you really like that rapper? Or are you doing that thing again, James?
I do like Nas. That's why I said I didn't like Nas. I like Nas. Sorry, everybody.
He came clean. Doesn't it
you
feel good to come clean?
It does.
Now you don't have that burden anymore.
Yeah.
And what do you think the crossover between the listeners of that podcast and this podcast
Negative
are?
numbers, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hood Nerd Network on People of Comedy, everybody.
Well, maybe now there'll be some crossover.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to invite me on one of these comedy podcasts. I'm hilarious. Coaching is not for me. I should just be a comedian.
Try it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done stand-up?
No.
Do you want
It's
to?
like only because it's so out of my comfort zone.
Did you? I feel like maybe you've said you've taken like an improv class, or no?
Oh yeah, I've done a ton of improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've performed improv.
Yeah.
At Second City and IO, like little things here. I've done like sketch comedy, but like stand up,
Right.
where it's just me like making people laugh. Never done that, man. That would be scary.
Ooh, going back to the game of three, would that be
Yeah, hell yeah.
three things
Yes.
you'd do if you weren't
Yes.
so afraid?
Definitely, I'll put that on the list.
Okay, great.
Oh, that's good. I would probably, you know what? Now I'm thinking. I wonder if I would ask anyone out. Who would I ask out? I'm pretty sure. What is her name? Anna Chlumsky. You know,
No.
she's on Veep. She was My Girl in the movie My Girl with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh.
She's on. She's one of the stars of Veep. One of the
Okay.
like co-stars. I've definitely had a crush on her, but I'm pretty sure she's married with children, so I probably wouldn't ask her out even if I was afraid. Or even if I wasn't afraid or whatever.
Right.
She's somebody that I have thought would be cool to ask out.
If you just like were in line at a coffee shop and she happened to be in front of you.
You know what? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm just thinking, I'm like, there are probably a few people that I'm Facebook friends with that I know are single that I kind of have like mini crushes on, and I've always been too afraid to ask them out. So I'll think about that.
I feel this week's practice coming on. Just saying.
Whose DMs have you always longed to slide into? Now's the time.
What do you love about life, Matt?
Wow. I love how unpredictable it is. And I hate how unpredictable it is. But truly, when I step back and take time to actually appreciate the wow, what a crazy variety of things can occur and do occur. And in my own life and just in what I see around me, the variety and unpredictability, sometimes it's like a roller coaster, it feels like. Where sometimes when you're on the roller coaster, you're like, oh crap, not another man. You're screaming but the overall experience of those unexpected, oh, all of a sudden we're doing a loop. And you thought it was slowing down, and then all of a sudden it went really fast. And it's that unpredictable nature of it. Sometimes it's not always fun in the moment, but, or it doesn't always occur as fun in the moment, but I actually love that that it's unpredictable, and that, there's so many surprises, big and little, little things like, oh, this meal is so much better than I thought it was going to be, or so much worse. Little things like that, or bigger things that occur in our life too. I love that.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
It's really more of a statement. Tell people about what you're creating.
Okay, cool. Well, on the biggest level, there's creating a few different levels. There's just, for me, creating an experience of joy and peace and love and connection, and just kind of helping this guy through life. And so creating a life that is loved by the human that I seem to be inhabiting. That's one thing I'm up to. And then more broadly, creating loving relationships and friendships, with, deepening relationships or creating new ones, just enjoying connection with other humans, or learning how to enjoy it and overcome my own stuff that gets in the way of connection. And then, I don't know, it's weird. I don't even feel like I'm creating it, but I guess I am. The business that I've started, Hearthstone, which is geared towards coaching individuals and organizations. And the real long-term vision for Hearthstone is massive companies would hire us to transform their culture. And so part of creating that is building a team that's working with me, and getting foot in the door at these organizations and being able to do really cool culture transformation work. For me, that's a step towards learning how to really shift our cultural contexts on a really broad scale, so that we can all experience more joyful, loving, connected, happy lives. And so that includes my book, and that's it. Is that all of it?
Yeah. So tell people more about...
I'm an actor. I'm creating fun plays stuff. This year I'm gonna do a solo play.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here in Chicago?
I may perform it for a weekend or two here, but I've been more planning on doing it in Colorado, where I also spend a lot of time.
And tell people more about what you mean in terms of like corporate cultural transformation? Like what if a company was to bring you in, what kind of work does that look like?
Thanks for asking that. I think it would be co-created. So I don't have it that there's a certain way that a person or an organization ought to be. Other than I have a bias towards, I guess I have some biases. One is that people enjoy, like, love what they're doing. I have a bias towards people being able to determine for themselves the kind of experience that they're having, and that includes organizations. So if let's say founder CEO started their company 20 years ago. It's been very successful, but the person realizes basically, like, I hate working here. So they might call me. And then what we would do is we would start out working together, looking at what kind of experience would you like to have? How would you like this place to be? How do you think other people want it to be? And some of that might be kind of gathering information from others within the organization. How do you experience working here? What is it like for you? And then kind of together we create a vision of how they would like it to be. And so, and a lot of organizations, it's that kind of query is usually oriented around what would create the results that we want financially, usually. And so part of what I bring as a coach is, like, not just the results, but having the experience of working just for the sake of having an experience you want to have, and then creating the results. So we would create a vision together of how it could be, what they would love, how they would love to show up at work, how relationships would be. I would just support them in designing it themselves. What is the transformation you really want here? And then once we've designed the vision, then we would look together at, like, okay, what are the steps it would take to create that? And so that's where Hearthstone can also come into play, doing workshops or like leadership training with broader groups, or any number of things that could support the transformation to that vision. But it all starts with creating it. And I don't have, like, for me, it's like, that's up to you. It's your vision, not mine to tell you.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that about wraps it up due to time. Is there anything else that you just have to say that you really need people to know about you?
I guess it's not so much what I want people to know about me, but I would like to share my overall, I guess I have for me, probably the most important thing that I've experienced in my life is the possibility that I am worthy of unconditional love. And like, being the giver and the receiver of that in my own life has been probably the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. And I guess the last thing I would share is, like, my desire for everyone to, outside of conditions, outside of reasons, just choose to experience loving themselves. Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, cool. I think then, I can't remember if we did a practice at the end of my last getting to know you, but I would say the practice for this week, everybody, is maybe to just look at one thing you could do this week to love yourself a little bit more, and take that on.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. All right, my friends, our friends, that's it.
Thanks for learning about me, y'all.
Oh, we'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. I'm Matt Maxwell. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or other social media, or learn about coaching with me at thisishearthstone.com. And please check out my book, How to Hold a Cockroach, now available through Amazon. You can connect with Kristen on Instagram at Robinson Kristen, that's Kristin, or find her upcoming workshops at thrivecoachingstudio.com. Please subscribe to us wherever you listen and leave a great review. We'd love to hear how it goes in the comments section wherever you listen, or leave us a note at cultivatingcouragepodcast.com.